8-9 on the road, however, as Steph Curry and the Warriors were in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. And we don't normally show the first play of the game in a highlight, but when it's as good as this one, as Andrew Wiggins goes up with the left over Rudy Gobert, you put it in the highlight. Steph Curry threes, yeah, they normally go in the highlight. There's one right there, and then inside the three-point arc, drops the floater in over Gobert, and then Curry from deep. That one's good as well. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists for Curry in this one. We're still in the first quarter. Warriors by 19. Jordan Poole pulls up. 47 in the first quarter for GSW. And then Poole attacking the rack, going right at Gobert. Klay Thompson off the screen. That three is good. He tied Joe Johnson for 15th on the all-time three-point list in this one. T-Wolves trying to make a run. They've got it down to 13 midway through the fourth. Anthony Edwards, 3 of his 26. But here Gobert tries to tip the ball out to a teammate. It winds up in the hands of Klay Thompson, who pulls up for 3 more. He had 21. The Warriors scored, hosting the Damian Lillard-less Portland Trailblazers. Portland 4-4 this season without Lillard, 7-4 with him. And it would be in NYC. Kevin Durant going to work early on. Fadeaway along the baseline is good, plus the foul. The free throw would tie it up at 18. Ben Simmons took just 3 shots in this one, but drives and kicks. Good ball movement. The extra pass to Seth Curry for 3. On the other end, Jeremy Grant had a career-high 44 on Friday against the Knicks, including 21 of 28 from the free throw line. Knocks down a couple of threes here. He had 20 of his 29 in the first half. Kyrie into Ben Simmons, back out, and Simmons, one of his 8 assists. Brooklyn would lead by a point at halftime. In the second half, though, Brooklyn would take over. Seth Curry, how about 7 threes in 10 attempts? 29 points, a season high, and his highest total as a net. And here Curry finds Durant for 3 of his 31. And Kyrie mixing in as well. The corner 3 for him is good. 22 for Irving. And Brooks averaging 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. While Giannis Antetokounmpo, 31, 11, and 5. But the story early on was Grayson Allen going off from downtown. How about 7 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first half? He scored 22 points in the first 17 and a half minutes. And he tied the most threes in a half without a miss in the last 25. Milwaukee led 73-62 at halftime. Mavs trying to close the gap. Luka, a running floater, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. And then Christian Wood for 3. Came in averaging over 17 points a game this month. He had 21. But more from the Greek Freak. Look at him, just gliding his way down the floor, and takes off from just inside the foul line to dunk it home. Here he is in transition again, this time splitting the defense before dunking it. He had 30 points and 11 rebounds. And once again, Milwaukee out and running. This time it's Drew Holiday in the corner. He had 16, part of an 11 contest against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, who have scored 100 or more in all 19 games this season. In fact, they've scored 100 or more in 40 straight, dating back to last season. DeAndre Hunter pumping in a 3. That was an assist from Trae Young, who had a season-high 14 dives. Then DeJounte Murray the steal and the lay-in. Atlanta by 7. Trae Young had 22 points, but misses here. Onyeka Okongwu with the putback slam. Once again filling in for Clint Capella, out with dental pain. Would outscore Atlanta 34-21 in the third. Not before John Collins gets a big slam. 23 points, a season-high 14 boards for him. Kyle Lowry giving Miami the lead, though, with a 10-2 spurt, capped off by that 3-ball. And then Bam Adebayo working his way inside. 16 in the third for Bam. Caleb Martin jab stepping and then knocking down a triple. Gave the Heat a double-digit lead. And then Tyler Hero, who had a modest triple-double in this one. One of those assists going up top to Bam, who after having 38 and 13 on Friday, had 32 and 8 on Sunday. It's the Clippers. The Pacers have won 8 of their last 10. No Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard once again for LA. But they had Ivica Zubac, who right here gets his own miss and puts it back in. He had a career-high 15 rebounds in the first half. As there he is one more time with a tip-in off the John Wall miss. Then Wall going to go behind his back, gets tripped up, and still finds a way to get it to go. Would complete the three-point play. Clippers by 6 at that point. Jalen Smith in his third year out of Maryland. He knocked down a career-high 23 in this one. And then Tyrese Halliburton, tough step-back three in the corner. He fills the stats at 59-57 at halftime. More from the big fella out of Croatia. Zubac with the dunk off the feed from Amir Coffey. And then with no George and no Leonard, Norman Powell has a chance to shine as a wing player. He pulls up for 2 of his 19. Then Wall lobbing for Zubac. How about this? 31 points, 29 rebounds. Only get a victory on Sunday without Jason Tatum, missing his first game of the season with an ankle injury. Jaylen Brown to the rescue, though, against the Washington Wizards, as he has scored 25 or more in 4 straight. Coming in, there he goes right down Broadway for the slam. Malcolm Brogdon helping to pick up the slack as well. He had 17 points. And then more from Jaylen Brown. The catch and the finish inside. How about Marcus Smart off the pick? Knocks down a triple. Boston led by 17 at halftime, led by as many as 26 on the drive. Nice cut going baseline by Jaylen. And then make it 5 straight with 25 or more for Jaylen Brown. He had 36 in the ball game. Here he is, absorbing the contact and getting the bucket to go. Washington tried 6 home games in Tom Thibodeau's first 2 seasons as Knicks head coach. The Knicks only did that 3 times. They were trying not to do that on Sunday, hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. And spoiler alert, they did not allow 130 in this one. Would that be enough to give them a victory? Ja Morant and Dylan Brooks had other plans. Brooks knocking down a triple. He had 23. Then off the Jaren Jackson miss, Jalen Brunson, nice outlet up ahead to Julius Randle, who fell an assist shy of a triple-double with 14 points, 2 at halftime, and would push the lead in the third. Ja Morant, look at this play. Hanging and hitting through traffic. Look at him floating and contorting, and the foul. And then off the inbounds, Jaren Jackson, he had 21 in this one. It was a 12-point lead for Memphis early in the fourth, but that lead would evaporate. Cam Reddish's 3 with just over 4 to play gives New York a 1-point advantage. Ja Morant dribbling his way to the elbow, pulling up for 2. Memphis led by 3. Jalen Brunson, speaking of 3, pulls the Knicks within 1. He had 30 in this one, 30 or more, 3 straight games. First time he's done that in his career. And then Ja Morant gets his own miss back and puts it in. He had a triple-double. Jalen Brunson going to try to tie things up, and it knocks off the iron. Morant triple. Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers in Detroit to take on the Pistons. Mitchell and company looking to make easy work of a Pistons team that has a young up-and-coming roster, but has disappointed to this point in the season. Donovan Mitchell getting to the rack at will early on in this one. Marvin Bagley for Detroit. Double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds. The former Duke product continued to score in the third. Sadiq Bey, a nice little up and under with the left hand. He had 15. On the other side, though, Darius Garland had his 4th double-double of the season. This one keeps it himself high off the glass. The finish is good to put Cleveland within 2, but the Cavaliers had a big advantage in the fourth, outscoring the Pistons 29-16. Mitchell had 32 in the ball game, 4th straight contest of 25 or more. Tyrese Maxey for a 5th straight, and James Harden for a 7th in a row. They were in Orlando taking on the Magic for the 2nd time in 3 days, and Tobias Harris keeping his hot start going in the second quarter with a 3 right there. Paul Reed puts the ball on the deck. How pleasant of a surprise has he been with increased playing time? 12 points and 13 rebounds for him, and then it's blowing by Bol for the dunk. He had 19, as these Philly players getting so much increased playing time, and it's really paying off. They've won 5 of 7 coming in. Milton was 10 of 13 from the floor. He had 29 in this one. There's an easy deuce. And then Tobias Harris, that number 1 option with all of the injuries, just goes coast to coast for an easy 2. He had 25.